welcome to AASPA's podcast. I am Anna Weber, and I am AASPA's marketing coordinator. With me today, I have Frank Valenzuela, who is an attorney with Fanning, Harper, Martinson, Brandt, and Kutchin in Dallas, Texas. Frank is going to present for us at our 85th annual conference coming up in Anaheim in just a couple of months. Frank, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Would you mind sharing with our listeners a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name is Frank Valenzuela. I'm not a native Texan. I'm originally from Miami, Florida, and I attended the University of Dallas undergrad and got my law degree from Notre Dame. I've practiced law in Florida, and I currently practice in Texas. I represent local governments, cities, counties, school districts, and their employees in all types of claims, but a lot of employment claims.
Perfect. So what session are you going to present for us this year at conference?
Overview of federal laws.
That sounds thrilling. I'm sure that this is going to be a very well attended session. When you say that to people that aren't school HR directors, it sounds like sarcasm, but for our attendees, it really is important, exciting information. What would motivate someone to come to your session?
Simply, I think because federal employment laws can be overwhelming. There's an alphabet soup of statutes that have been passed on the federal level, not even counting what an individual state might pass. And then because public schools also have to comply with the Constitution, there are constitutional concerns as well. So I think that an HR professional who wants to get a better handle on federal employment law, both at the constitutional level and at the statutory level, would be interested in attending the session.
What would you like attendees to take away from your presentation?
In addition to an overall understanding of the way that the different federal laws and constitutional provisions work, I would hope that attendees would take away an understanding of new laws that have been issued and new case decisions. So just this spring, there's a new federal law that concerns how the employer-employee relationship goes on with regards to pregnant employees. And so we're going to be exploring that and what the employer's obligations are and what they might be seeing from the EEOC. Something new that we're also going to be talking a lot about was a recent Supreme Court decision. It was one of the last ones issued in June, and it has to do with Title VII religious discrimination claims. And it completely changes what an employer what actions an employer has to take with regard to an employee who may be seeking a religious accommodation. So I would hope that one of the takeaways would be the new things that have changed in employment law since perhaps somebody has taken a similar course in the past. And then also, I want to talk quite a bit about accommodations. So in my practice, I see some school districts that do a really good job in working with employees in the accommodation process and the interactive process. And then I've seen some employers, both in and out of the school context, that I think could definitely improve in the way they engage in the interactive process. And so I want to take those practices, real-world practices that I've seen, and really hone in and discuss what I think are maybe some best practices that folks can take back to their own school districts.
And what, sort of along those same lines, what is one tool or strategy from your session that you think that attendees will be able to immediately implement in their districts?
I would say that what is required by that new U.S. Supreme Court case, that U.S. Supreme Court case having to do with religious discrimination, it totally changes how an employer needs to act. If they have an employee who is requesting a religious accommodation. So I would hope that would be one takeaway that somebody can take back immediately, because it perhaps changing their practices of how they interact with such employees, because it really is a landmark decision that requires immediate changes to how employers and employees interact with each other.
Excellent. Well, Frank, I am very excited to see you in Anaheim in just a short couple of months. You were actually supposed to present at our February boot camp this year in Dallas, but we had some weather and ended up having to move virtually. So this will get to be your first in-person AASPA event.
That's right. I'm looking forward to it.
I know, and we've picked a location where hopefully the weather is a little bit better than it was in Dallas last February, because that was not, those ice storms were pretty brutal.
Yeah, I'm fairly confident we're not going to have that in October.
And then, you can finish your session, and we're just about 2 blocks away from Disneyland. So you can wrap up your pre-conference and go over and see Mickey Mouse.
There you go. Sounds like fun.
Frank, thank you so much for joining me today.
You're very welcome. Thanks again for having me.